Well, hello again everyone. We're going to have another lesson on becoming a better writer. You're with Mr. Bachatsky and of course my good mate there, Buster, who's becoming a better writer every video he watches, and hopefully you are too, and getting enough practice as well. Okay, today we are going to be looking at descriptive language, something very important when we're writing any sort of text. So let's start with the basics. What is descriptive language? Well, it's language that describes, and of course you can describe people, things and places. So we've got our lovely standard Chinese family here, and we could use some words to describe these people. Of course they are nouns, and you can probably think of some nouns, some adjectives I should say, to describe these people. Okay, well, they are looking very happy for a start, aren't they? They are certainly very what we might call close knit. Okay, smiley, you might say. Okay, now these are all these three words here are all, as I've already said, adjectives. Adjectives are words we use to describe nouns. Okay, this is basic stuff. You should probably know this by now. But we can also use language to describe actions and processes. So things we might call verbs. Okay, here is a man with long hair water skiing. And let's try and describe the action of his water skiing. What sort of water skiing is he doing? How is he doing it? Okay, you might say he's going very fast. Okay, he's travelling fast. He's travelling very smoothly across the water, perhaps. And you might say maybe gracefully might be another nice adjective to use there. Now notice adverbs. That's what these things are here. Okay, adverbs, because they add meaning to verbs. These guys here, a couple of them end in ly, so often your adverbs will end in ly. Now in your writing we want you to use lots of adjectives and lots of adverbs to describe, okay, to describe what you're writing about. Now why? Okay, why do we use descriptive language? Well, look up here. Descriptive language makes your writing more interesting. It helps to paint a picture. Okay, a much nicer picture hopefully than that one there for the reader. Okay, something like this lovely little girl here is painting a beautiful picture there. Okay, but we have to do that with our words when we're writing. Have a look at this sentence down the bottom here. The horse is galloping across the field. Okay, is it very interesting? Not particularly. Okay, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and I want you to imagine the horse is galloping across the field. Just imagine that. Okay, I wonder what sort of horse and what sort of field you have imagined. Alright, let's go to the next slide. I wonder if you imagined this horse galloping across this field. Okay, you may not have, because I didn't give you any descriptive language, really, did I? Although I did say he was galloping, and I suppose the verb there, galloping, tells you a little bit about how he's running across the field, or how he's moving. So he's definitely galloping here across the field. Now, how would you write a more descriptive sentence for this horse galloping? Well, I've given it a go. Let's see if this is anything like your one. Oh, I'm going to bring it down here. There we go. The white horse is galloping with great determination across the snow-covered field. So you could see that I've added some descriptive language here. I've added an adjective there. Okay, I've added another adjective here. Okay, I haven't added an adverb as such, but I've told you how he's galloping by using this thing here, with great determination. Okay, now that is not an adverb because it's more than one word. It's a phrase, all right, and we call it an adverbial phrase. A phrase is a group of words, and in this case it's a phrase that is like an adverb. It tells us more about how the horse is galloping. Okay, so that's a little bit more advanced using an adverbial phrase, but hopefully you understand there what I've done and why. Okay, I could have used the word determinedly. It's actually an adverb. I could have used that, but I decided to go with great determination. It sounded better. Okay, now we're going to look at some advanced descriptions. If you want to get a B or even an A for the assessment and become a really good writer and a really advanced writer, you need to use this thing here, figurative language. Okay, it's more than just one thing. It's actually a lot of things. Figurative language has a lot of parts to it, and you've probably come across some, if not all of these before in your reading and writing. Okay, so we have 4 things here that really relate to descriptive language: similes, metaphors, something called personification, and onomatopoeia. So we've got 2 big words to finish with there. Okay, let's just go through some examples of each of these relating back to our little horsey. All right, and there he is again on the snow. Okay, so here's our first simile. Right, that we could write. This is a simile that I've written to go with this picture. The snow explodes like landmines going off under the horse's hooves. Okay, so you can see what I'm referring to here. You can see the powdery snow just exploding up. And to me it looks like a little landmine going off. So that's why I've described it like, okay, a landmine. And a simile always describes one thing and compares it to another. Okay, so you often get the word like in a simile. Sometimes you get the word as, because that also is a comparison word. Okay, so that's a simile, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Now this metaphor, let's have a look at this now. The snow is a white blanket on the grass. A metaphor is a way of describing something, again, but it's saying that the snow is, it's not saying it's like a white blanket, it's saying the snow is a white blanket on the grass. Okay, that is a metaphor because you're saying one thing is another. It's just an interesting way of describing something else. Okay, on to the next one now, personification. Okay, the word here actually gives us a hint about what personification is. It makes something that is not a person into something that is like a person, okay, in some way. So think about the wind in this picture. You can't really see it, of course, but the wind rips and tears at the horse's mane. Now, wind can't really rip and tear at things like a human could rip something and tear something up, okay? The wind just blows. But here, I've used what's called personification. So the wind rips and tears, well, they're things that humans do. Okay, I'm making the wind sound more like a human being. Okay, and it's just an interesting way of describing what the wind's doing there. It makes it a little bit more realistic and a little bit more kind of interesting and scary, perhaps. Okay, onomatopoeia, big word. It just means words that make the same sound as when you say them. They make a sound. Okay, so I've got footarump, footarump. The horse's hooves plough through the snow. Okay, did you hear my onomatopoeia? Footarump is my onomatopoeia word. All right, because it's a word that I just made up. Okay, but it makes that sound. You can hopefully imagine the sound of that horse's hooves as they plough across the snow. Footarump, footarump. That's onomatopoeia. Again, it's a nice, interesting way and more advanced way of describing the sounds that we hear in our world. Okay, that's onomatopoeia. Now we're just about done. I'm just going to give you one shot at it now. Okay, what you're going to do is look at this picture and then follow the instructions with me up the top here. Okay, you're going to write a description about the scene below. Include plenty of adjectives and adverbs. Now, also add some phrases, which are groups of words, that describe the scene. Phrases that describe the scene. Okay. Have a look back in the video if you like and see my adverbial phrase and remind yourself what that was all about. Now, if you are an advanced writer and you want a bit of more of an extension, and I hope that's many of you, you're going to add some figurative language such as simile, metaphor, or onomatopoeia or personification. Okay, see how much of that you can add to your writing. Make it a whole paragraph and make it really interesting and descriptive, and don't forget to show your teacher at the end. Alright, I'm looking forward to reading some really interesting descriptions at the end of this. So off you go.